In episode 39 of Mainly Games, we are going to take a look at Off the Pressed, the USPS Great American Mail Race. We're also going to revisit Azul and Ethnos to see if those still hold up and if they're worth having in your collection still. Then we're going to look at a list that is the top 10 most beautiful board games. And we're going to see what we would add to that list and maybe what we'd take out. So I'm just going to sit here and look pretty, and let's start this podcast. Aww. Welcome to Mainly Games. I'm Joey.
And I'm Alex.
And we're a podcast about mainly games.
That's it.
Yes. So we have not seen... Now, we're trying to get back on a regular schedule.
We are indeed.
Now that the hurricane is kind of done and things are rebuilding here.
Yep.
But this is releasing a day later. Mm-hmm. We are going to kind of push this to start releasing on Wednesday. Several of you have emailed in asking, when the release date is. And we had it on Thursday. Last couple weeks been weird. Mm-hmm. But next week we're going to push it to Wednesday because several of you said you'd kind of like it to be earlier in the week because apparently some of you listen to it while you're at work and working.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
I like to listen to podcasts when I'm driving.
Driving I can do, but I can't do it when I'm working.
No, I have to have focus.
Yeah, well, it depends on what I'm doing. If I'm doing something like design-wise, I can. But if I'm writing something, I can't have any words.
No.
Even if it's a song I've heard a million times, any words are going to throw me off of writing.
Yeah. Oh, I completely agree.
Writing a script or something, I can't do that.
Oh, no. Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say the reason why we pushed it off this week is because last night we had a game night and we needed to play some games to review that we hadn't already reviewed before because the games we had played we'd already reviewed. Yes. And most of our nights have been spent painting minis.
Yes, it's true.
So that was kind of why this week was a little funky.
Yes, we've needed some release since the craziness of Ian. Mm-hmm. But enough about Ian. He's had enough of our time.
He has, indeed.
So, anyway, so next week we're going to push it to Wednesdays and hopefully keep that schedule. Yeah. And again, keep your emails and things coming. We love to hear from you guys.
Yeah, they're awesome.
show@mainlygames.com.
Yes.
And we love hearing what we did right and what we did wrong.
Yes, tell us what we did wrong. Because I like to hear that.
Because in this episode, we are touching on some very, very loved games.
We are.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to be getting a lot of emails, I'm sure, whether you agree or disagree on some of these games. Some we're playing for the first time, and some we are revisiting. Mm-hmm. So, but before we get into that, movie-wise, we haven't seen much.
We have not.
Because my wife is now on a Hallmark kick.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, we have watched a lot of Hallmarks.
And that's sad. Now, for you husbands out there, keep your wives away from there's a place called Great American Family, which is just like Hallmark.
Yep.
And they have the same exact style movies.
Yeah, it's now you have like double the Hallmark.
Yay. Okay, so.
I think the reason why I've been craving the Hallmark is just because it's been such a heavy time.
That's true.
You needed something light and fluffy.
They are mindless.
They are so mindless. Like, you know what's going to happen.
Well, it's funny how I said I can't listen to anything with words while I work. I can listen to Hallmark.
Oh, yeah,
because
definitely.
It's a constant hum, and you just know what's going to happen.
I can watch Hallmark movies while I'm painting.
Well, yeah, I can do much. Yeah, I can do a lot when I'm painting.
Oh, when I'm painting, I need to be focusing on my mini. I can't be looking at the TV. So I need something that has like a strong audio. And so Hallmark movies have no action, so you don't have to like stop what you're doing and look at the TV.
Speaking of painting, my wife is, of course, the painter in the family as far as our minis. Any minis you've seen online, she has painted. I am, as I mentioned before, trying to paint. And I have 3D printed this Walhalla that is just all these dungeon tiles that you can put the minis on the wall from all our different games and things. It's kind of more of a display piece. So I thought, I can dry brush. Had a buddy come over. He taught me his dry brush technique before we went to Nepal. And which was weird. But anyway.
During a hurricane.
During the hurricane.
Yep.
Yeah, it's so funny. He went to Nepal, or where was it, Kathmandu or something?
I think that's Nepal.
And this like 2 days after the hurricane, he's like, hey, I just got a blessing from the living goddess in Kathmandu. And I just responded, I said, our weeks have been totally different.
Yes.
It's like, he's like, yeah, sorry, dude. But anyway, he told me about dry brushing, right? Mm-hmm. So when I'm sitting there across from him, I'm dry brushing these dungeon tiles. I had like 5 printed at the time. I have like 60 that need to be done. So I'm doing it. I'm like, these are great. This is easy. So he leaves. A week later, I'm by myself. I'm like, you know what? I got it. I've got the 4 paints he said to use, and I did it, and it looked like garbage. So then I'm like, all right, reprimed them, did it again, garbage again. I'm doing the exact same thing, I think. So I just told him, I said, you got to come back over. And apparently, I can't even dry brush. That right there is really hard for me to admit, because that's supposed to be the easiest thing. Like when you say, I can't paint anything, somebody will say, just dry brush it. See, that's it. And I can't even dry brush. So that is something.
I feel like dry brush does have some kind of technique to it because you kind of just can't just go dry brushing stuff around. You need to be very purposeful in your dry brushing.
Yeah, this I've learned.
Okay.
So, anyway, if you need stuff dry brush, send them to me and I will send them back and it will be unrecognizable. So
note to self.
I will do that for each of you. All right. So anyway, I was going to mention Black Adam. We mentioned that last time. That is the next big movie we're excited about seeing. It's coming out. Now, something else I'm excited. Were you going to say something about Black Adam?
I was going to say I'm excited about the Christmas movie that we watched.
Which one?
It's not. We haven't watched it. We watched the trailer of it. It's like this. I don't know what it's called.
Violent Night.
Yes, that looks amazing. I'm excited to see that one.
Okay, so
yeah.
To touch on this, because of our job as entertainers, a lot of our Facebook friends are entertainers from all across the gamut, right?
Yeah.
A lot of magicians, comedians, all this stuff. We have a lot of entertainers that are professional Santas. Yes, right now, hide your children. I don't want them to hear this. There are jobs that are professional Santas.
Correct.
These guys make a killing in 2 months out of the year. Real beard. I mean, they take this seriously.
Oh, yeah.
You go to their house, and their house is Christmas all year round.
All year.
They have everything. They have so many different Santa suits. And they have conventions, which are hilarious, by the way. When you see like 50 real bearded Santas walk into a whatever restaurant, I mean, people just start snapping pictures. Excuse me. Anyway, I love to see them fight about this new movie called Violent Night.
Yeah.
One of them shared it and said, wow, I'm pretty excited about seeing this Violent Night. And then the other Santas are like, what?
How could you?
He's ruining our legacy. This is what children see when they go. First of all, this movie is not one you're going to take your kids to. If you do take your kids to it, then you're already at that point where at a parent where you know what's happening.
Yeah.
But if you haven't seen it, it's pretty much Santa gets a call from this kid who they're having a home invasion
on Christmas Eve.
And it's the sheriff from Stranger Things.
Correct.
And he was in Black Widow and stuff. He plays Santa.
Yeah.
So he plays not the big heavy set Santa. He plays more the Kurt Russell Santa, right? Yeah. Like a bad man. And he just starts wailing on these intruders. And it looks great. It looks different.
It looks just a different kind of Christmas movie.
You know, every year a Christmas movie comes out that kind of stands above the rest. I don't know if that'll be it. Last year it was 8-Bit Christmas.
Correct. I was going to say that. And the year before it was the Christmas Chronicles, right? Yes. I know they did another one last year, but the first year they did it.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
So who knows? But Violent Night,
I'm excited for that one.
Okay, so anyway, I mentioned a couple podcasts ago that Comic Hunters, I ended up playing that at the Dice Tower Retreat. And I did not order it from Amazon Brazil because I did not go crazy and have to sign up for their IRS.
Yeah.
But I did get it from eBay.
Hey!
So it finally came in.
Yep.
And opened it up, and I was going to start to play it and relearn it. But I have forgotten that the instructions are in Portuguese. Now, for you that don't know, if you ever visit Brazil, this is something to remember. They have a different word for everything.
Correct. They do. Surprise!
That's the way languages work.
Yeah.
So I'm looking through, and I'm like, you know what?
Even the back is in Portuguese. Oh, yeah.
It is in Portuguese.
Wow.
So, but the actual playmat is in English.
Huh.
Which is crazy. But anyway, so I've got to find a translation, which I'm sure there is one online.
I'm sure there is one. You can do it.
All right, that is it.
Yep.
Now, also, we got to start playing Pandemic Legacy.
I know, finally. We've been talking about this since, I don't know, beginning of the year.
Yeah. We just haven't. I know a lot of people out there have played it ad nauseum, but we started season 1 with some friends.
We did the first one.
We did the first one. So we did January. We lost once.
Yep.
Because we did something stupid. Not to go into this if you haven't played it, but any Legacy game changes some of the rules. Sometimes mid-game, right? So they change.
You get like a new objective.
Right.
Yeah.
We've played all the pandemics so many times. And we were doing it, and they changed one little rule, and we kind of forgot halfway through January. And by the time we got to the end, we're like, we can't back up enough. And we just lost.
Yeah.
So then we won the second time. But
we were so close to winning that first time, too.
So close to winning.
We were one turn away.
And so close to losing when we actually won. We were one turn away. So far, we love it.
Oh, yeah. Epic.
Any type of Legacy game that can take something you love and then alter it, it's great. Add that variety. So yeah, if you haven't played Pandemic Legacy, we're not going to do a full review now. Like I said, we're only on month 1, but did love it.
Yeah. So far, so good.
So that's as far as that, we're playing that and The Crew. So those are our 2
legacy games.
Games.
Yeah.
And our friends we played The Crew with, we went there the other night and played several times, and we only beat 1 mission.
We did, and it was the same mission we were trying to beat from the previous night.
Yes. So I think we're on number 30.
I think we're on 30 right now.
So Jose, the guy's like, he goes, maybe they get easier. I'm like, I don't think they do.
No,
because
I don't think they do.
Just not the way it works. So anyway, we're going to make our way through both of those. Also, we're trying to cull some games. Because
we are.
I'm tired of having games just sitting on shelves.
Yep.
I'm sorry, on the floor and don't have any room on shelves. So I've created what is called a last chance saloon.
Ooh.
And these are games that are on our shelf of shame that haven't been played.
Yeah.
Or they haven't been played enough to warrant their place on the shelf.
Okay.
So here are some games. I'm going to mention these to you guys. So any of these you think we should give a second chance to,
let us know.
let us know. Because these are they're on the way out. Okay? They're ready to move on. Go.
Okay.
So first one, Role Player. Everyone loves it. I wasn't as enamored with it when I played it the first time. I feel like I should give this a second chance.
I think so. I really want to. I don't think I played it, right?
No, you haven't played it.
I want to play this.
That might be when we go through. Another one is Heist. This was a fun game I picked up at Gen Con where it's kind of like it reminds me of Perfection where the thing pops up and 4 people around the table. It's a party game. That one's probably going to leave. Downforce. Main reason with Downforce is I can't see a chance where I would bring out Downforce instead of either Camel Up or Long Shot the Dice Game or later Ready, Set, Bet. So I'm not sure when Downforce will make it out.
I can see Downforce going for sure. I'm actually surprised we still had that. I thought we got rid of that a long time ago.
Yeah, it's wrapped. We never played our version. We played other people's. All right, another one is Small World.
Okay.
All right. And then Alchemical Quest, only because the game wasn't great, but we're keeping the minis from it.
Yep.
All right, and then another one is King of New York. Again, I don't know when King of New York is going to come out instead of King of Tokyo Dark Edition.
Yeah, I can see that too. I was going to say, going back to Small World, I played that at the retreat the other day, and I liked it. I just think other games play it so much better.
Right.
So, yeah, I could see that one going. Yeah, okay, I agree.
And then Mall of Horror, and my story on that is the fact that it's out of print. I found a place to order online. It came in, and it is the worst knockoff I've ever seen. So that's why that's going. But another one, these I have not played, New Angeles.
Okay,
that's still in the shrink.
Okay.
I heard great things about it.
Yep.
It's been sitting there for years.
Yeah.
That might go. Aquasphere, again, haven't played it. Paradox, haven't played it.
Okay.
And Vikings Gone Wild, which is a deck building. And I've got, honestly, most of the stuff for that. And those right there are on their way out. So if any of those you guys really think
we should keep,
let us know.
Replay or anything like that, let us know. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So
all right.
Right next to that was a picture of Oathsworn that just came in, and that is not one I'm getting rid of.
Oh, no. FYI. That box is huge.
Those boxes are huge.
Yeah. It came in one giant box, and I couldn't even get it in the door. I had to,
it's
finagle it.
Oh, yeah. It's
yes.
insane. So, and speaking of which, it came in all these boxes, and it also there's another box next to it from Spin Master.
Yes.
And immediately we thought, our daughter's there, she's like, oh, what are these? We're like, they're games. So open up Oathsworn. And my wife's like, open this, Spin Master. It's another game.
Yep.
And apparently Spin Master also makes toys because this was
Must be. It was a toy we ordered for her birthday.
This was a present for her birthday on Sunday. Almost opened it in front of her. So make sure you know, Spin Master, it's not always a game.
Yeah, I thought Spin Master was a game. They did lots of command stuff. I thought some sort of command thing had come in.
But it was not.
No.
So, all right. So anyway, our games we are reviewing today, we have several off the shelf and a couple of off the press.
We do.
So first off, you're gonna start off with an off the press.
I am. This is a game we got at Gen Con, and it is available at Target. It's the Great American Mail Race, and it's by Big Potato Games. Okay, so let me kind of explain. You win the game by scoring the most points by delivering the most mail, right? That makes sense. And the game ends when the transport deck is finished. So, first of all, you set up the board with the transport deck and then 3 cards laid out. Then you put the corresponding mail cards in the colored sections that match their color. So the pink goes in the pink, the gray goes in the gray, and so on, right? Then put one card face up of each color, and then put the mailbox icon on top. And you also set out the postcard deck too, and then put the postcard token on whatever city matches the first postcard card. All right. And then on your turn, you get 3 actions, which can be either take a transport card or use a transport card. And this was kind of cool. There are 13 different types of transport cards in this game, right? And each mode of transport has its own different way. So the mule, for example, has different tracks it can take as opposed to like your bicycle. You start with a bicycle card, but the bicycle and the vans and stuff like that have like roads, but the mule has other way. There's a hot air balloon, there's a rocket, there's planes, there's a train. It's really cool. And there's a reference.
I do miss the times that mail was delivered by rocket.
Me too. Me too. Yeah, I was like, is this an actual thing or did they just make this up? But anyway, whatever. But there's like a reference guide at the back of the rules that explain all the different types. So I'm not going to go into that then. Then what you do, you can either pick up your mail when you finish your movement on a spot where that depot is, right? Where that mail token is, and then you deliver it when you stop at your turn or stop your movement at where that mail needs to be delivered. So for example, if it needs to be at Good Grief, Idaho, you have to stop a movement at that spot, deliver it, and then score the points and yada yada yada. And then you use the cool little stamp thing that you get to score your sheet. And there's a couple of other things for scoring, but they're very easy to figure out, such as fragile, hometown, the regions, and the same day. They're very self-explanatory.
Before you go into it, just looked up. One of the first successful deliveries of mail by rocket was February 23rd, 1936.
Oh, wait, really?
But in 1959, the USPS delivered mail by cruise missile.
Ooh. Well, they didn't have a cruise missile card
Unarmed.
in here. Okay.
I mean, a cruise missile.
I am.
Got a letter for you.
Bam.
Okay.
So, yeah. Okay. So, when we started playing this game, I explained it to the people we're playing with as it's a combination of Ticket to Ride and On Tour. They hadn't played On Tour, but they had played Ticket to Ride. So, they were like, okay, right? And it's a very quick game, not super heavy, but still fun, right? Okay. There are several things that annoyed me about this game. First of all, the colors between the green and the blue are way too similar. And both times, everyone who was either delivering a blue or green would accidentally get them mixed up. It happens several times in the game.
Now, is there like most of the time these games have something for like colorblind people? There are symbols as well. Yeah,
there's little tokens where they have to go, but still you have to... See, I was just trying to grab a green to show you as I'm talking to you, and I grabbed 2 blues because...
Because I think there's one game, another game we're talking about later, Ethnos, has, I think, a problem with that.
No, this doesn't have anything to really help colorblind people. You just have to be able to read and keep reading where you have to go. But the blue and... Hang on, I can't find it. Green.
And they're the stamps in the corner is what you're talking about?
Yeah, the stamps in the corner. Also, the color... Yeah, the colored section. See, there's the green. They're the 2 right there. There are different symbols, but you're like having to pick them. It was very fiddly.
Yeah, you do wonder why they didn't just go with a different...
Why didn't they just do purple or something like that? Something completely different.
Yeah, they're trying to keep a certain color scheme, but yeah, I agree. Wow, those are very similar.
Yeah, I understand they were trying to keep it looking nice and pretty, and it does look really pretty, but they're way too similar. And so that was really annoying. And multiple times in the game, people, not just me, the people I was playing with complained about that. You
were in a well-lit area.
Yeah, right? Yeah. We both complained about that, all right? Also, we complained about, too, the names of the towns. Like, you've got Good Grief, Idaho, and Chugwater, Wyoming.
But the great part is, those are real towns.
Are they really?
Yes. Okay, this is the Australian. That's the best part of that.
We were like, what are they? We just thought they made up random words.
No, those are real. That is one thing I did hear is these
really
were actual...
Okay, well then maybe I'll forgive them for that then, because that
I love the fact they did that.
Okay, so the other people I was playing with did not know that they were real towns either. They complained too about the names of the towns. They were like, why did they make up all these towns?
That's true. One girl is from Bermuda, but the other girl, she has no excuse.
Yeah.
She's an American.
Well,
She
the girl
should
from
know-
Bermuda did grow up in America. So
That's true.
She did go to the American
And if she
school
hasn't heard
system.
of Good Grief, Idaho, I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, I grew up knowing that Good Grief,
I did not
Idaho
know that was a thing. Okay, so
where
maybe
we should take our
I'll
family
let them on a
vacations.
pass on that one. Okay. Also, the ink on the stamp does run out. You've got to use a lot of ink. That was a little FYI, a little helpful, handy hint there. But also, we did something silly, which we shouldn't. After rereading the rules today, I realized we should not have done this. We use an action as picking up the mail, because you know how you have 3 actions every turn.
Yeah.
From rereading the rules, it happens automatically as long as you stop your movement on that where the mail is. That was our fault. We made it more complicated than it had to.
I can see how that would get frustrating.
It was frustrating, but that was our fault. Also, we didn't do the delivery assistance thing where you steal mail from people if you're in the same town, if it's on the back of their little mail truck. We knew that, but that was just us. I think we just play nicely. But anyway, this was a fun game. I would totally play this game. I'm actually excited to play this game. I really liked it. It's fun. You're just kind of your little postman delivering mail. It's fun.
So you did like it.
I did. I really, really liked it. Like I said, though, the color thing was really annoying.
Because you were taking your review very seriously last night when I was asking you. I'm like...
Well,
so-
I don't like to talk about it before because then, like, when we do this, we don't have stuff to talk about. So I'm like,
our
secret.
banter.
I'll bet.
Yeah, so...
correct.
So anyway, no. Okay, so
Yes.
you did like it.
Yeah, I really liked it. Yeah.
So shelf, storage, or sell?
Shelf. Yeah.
Okay, now you compared it to On Tour and Ticket to Ride. Mm-hmm. You do like both of those.
I do indeed. I would still... Well, On Tour is a roll and write. So it's probably going to beat that...
The Great American Mail Race? Yeah.
On Tour will beat Great American Mail Race because it's a roll and write. But I think I'd play this over Ticket to Ride.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right, and time, it's about 30 minutes?
Yeah.
Or 40?
Oh,
okay.
yeah. It's quick. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's very light as far as...
Oh,
hard
absolutely.
it
It's
is.
a light game. It's fun. Like I said, I really liked it. Just we did some things wrong that made it kind of a bit more fidgety than it should have been.
Mm-hmm.
But we still liked it even though we did that. But I think that's easily fixed and didn't change our enjoyment of the game.
And the other players at the table liked it as well?
Oh, yeah, they liked it. Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
Yep.
All right, I'm interested to play it. I do like the color scheme. I like the look.
I like their packaging of it. So the rules, right, look like a letter. They're in like a little letter envelope and stuff like that. They did a really like thematic job of this. Like they did really good.
Big Potato does a good job. They're hit
They
or
do.
miss sometimes on their games because they've been releasing so many lately.
Yeah.
But they do a good job in packaging.
Oh, absolutely.
Obviously.
They
Some of those are great.
Yeah, gold star there.
So
yes.
Great American Mail Race,
Yep.
and that is recommended by you.
Yep.
All right, good.
Yep.
Hopefully I'll play that soon.
I hope so.
All right, so then this is another off the shelf.
Okay.
No, sorry, yeah, off the shelf. And this is one that we played a while back. We both played it, and neither one of us enjoyed it.
No.
And to the point where we never picked it up again.
Yes.
And heard so many things about it, we thought, well, I've got to give it another chance. Just haven't. So at a recent game day, it was set up, and I thought, you know what? Let's just try it again.
Yeah.
And we're talking about, put the pitchforks down, Azul.
Yeah, I saw this game set up. It was set up when we got there, and I was like, well, I'm not playing that.
And that was like, okay,
So, yeah.
Okay, so before we get into why we did not like it, I'll just tell briefly about Azul.
Okay.
In the game Azul, players take turns drafting colored tiles from suppliers to their player board. Later in the round, players will score points based on how they place their tiles to decorate their palace. They say their palace, but it's more of an abstract game. Extra points are scored for specific patterns, like if you're connected horizontal or vertically, and completed sets. Now, any wasted supplies will also harm your score. So at the end of each round, those tiles you have left over will subtract from the score. And the player with the most points at the end of the game wins. All right, so I remember playing Azul a while back and not loving it. And generally, I'm just not a fan of abstract games. I know that going in. There are very few abstract games that I like. I can't think of any now, but there are some out there. But Azul, I was not really huge into it. Now, there's a couple reasons I was willing and wanted to play it again. Number one, I've heard so many good things. I thought, you know what? Let's give it another chance.
Okay.
Let's try it.
Yeah.
Number two, I remember loving the feeling of the tiles.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It kind of like is in Quacks. One of the best part when you have the Quacks upgraded components
Yes.
are the way those discs feel.
Oh, yeah.
And Azul has that in the retail edition. They just feel nice. And I remember liking the feel of those tiles. And it has a short playtime. It's very simple. If it was a 4-hour game, I didn't like it, I'd never play it again. This is a shorter game. So I wanted to play it again. Again, I will say that I liked it a lot more this time.
Really?
For what it was.
Okay.
Looking back, I'm trying to figure out why I didn't like it then. And all I can figure out is a lot of times when the mood you're in going into a game is going to reflect on how much you like that game.
Correct.
On that particular night, I think we were into a heavy mood game.
I think so too. Because we had been playing heavy games all day, and then we stopped at night.
Yeah, it was just the four of us. And we were all getting some heavy games in because when they're just four people, you can play those heavy games.
Oh, correct, yes.
And at this event, this game that we were at, there were probably 13, 14 people. And at those situations, I can't really get into a heavy game.
No.
Especially when you have your kid there. You can't focus on that. No. So I knew I needed something light.
Yeah.
And because I needed something to tickle that itch,
this was the game?
Azul was perfect.
Okay.
So because I knew what it was going in, I actually liked it.
Yeah.
And the drafting mechanic of being able to choose which tiles and the fact that there is hate drafting, but it can be mitigated. Because the whole thing is when you grab tiles, you have to place them on a certain row on your board. If there's already one of those tiles on that row, filling up the space at the end, you can't place it. So if you look at other people's boards coming after you, you will get a sense of, okay, this person doesn't need this or can't use this. Or if they do, they're going to get minus points. So it's really interesting taking everything into account with Azul.
Yeah.
So playing that, after playing it again, I thought, you know what, this might be one to add to the collection. I'm not sure.
Really? That's
But
interesting.
It's interesting that I really did like it. I think you would like it if you play it again. And I know, I haven't played Sagrada, so I can't compare it to that. But
that's when it gets compared to a lot. I don't know. I just have still a bad taste. I don't know. I just did not like it the first time. I think I like puzzly games a lot less than you. You are more open to puzzly games than me, and I'm like, I'm out. So I think that might be my problem there.
Yeah, and I think now as far as this, I know there's a couple of expansions out. There's a stained glass one. There's Summer Pavilion. I
feel
think
like there's a lot of expansions.
There
out
are,
there.
but I don't know how deep I'd go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
But I do like this for what it is.
Yeah.
So I was surprised on the fact that I liked Azul. And I know everyone else is like, what? Of course you liked Azul. And as someone who does not like abstract games normally.
Yeah.
So anyway, Azul.
Okay.
It's one of those I think it's 5 years old. I think 2017. And
yeah, I think it is.
It
It's
still
got a
holds
great
up.
rating on BGG.
Yeah.
So that
it holds up.
yes.
So if you have lived under a rock,
okay.
or if you're like me and didn't like it, give it another chance.
Okay.
It just feels nice.
I do always like going back to those games. Like, for example, Scout, did not like it the first time I played it.
Right.
Really liked it the second time I played it. I do think your mood going into a game affects,
You
games.
do have to try things a couple times.
Yeah.
You just do.
Yeah.
All right. So the next one, again, is another one off the shelf.
Yes.
That we have
It's
not
also
played.
2017, right?
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
I
looked
did
it
not
up
know
on
is that
BGG.
current. Yeah, it is 2017. So maybe Azul's also. Wow, we're just killing it with 2017.
There
so
you
this game
go.
is 5 years old, but we're finally getting the chance to play it. And this is Ethnos. This is one that I never really jumped on because the look of the game, it doesn't look great.
No,
Let's
it
be
looks a
honest.
little dated.
I've seen it so many times being played, and I remember one guy who just walked around with this game. This was his game. He had it tricked out as much as you can with Ethnos.
Yep.
And he just loved the game. So anyway, Ethnos, for you that don't know, in Ethnos, players call upon, the support of giants, merfolk, halflings, minotaurs, and other fantasy tribes to help them gain control of the land. After 3 ages of play, whoever collected the most glory wins. So it has 12 tribes of fantasy creatures. In each game, you choose 6 of them. All right?
Mm-hmm.
There's 5 in a 2 or 3 player game, but for 4, there's 6 of them. Then you create a deck with only those creatures and those tribes. The cards come in 6 colors, which match the 6 regions of Ethnos. Place the 3 glory tokens in each region at random and arranging them from low to high. You start the game with 1 card in hand, then 4 to 12 cards, depends on the number of players, are placed face up on the table, and on a turn, a player either recruits an ally or plays a band of allies. In the former case, you take a face-up card or the top card of the deck and add it to your hand. In the latter case, you choose a set of cards in your hand that either match the tribe or in color, and place them in front of you, then discard all the cards in your hand. Place 1 token in the region that matches the color of the top card you just played, and you use the power of the tribe member of the top card you just played. They all have powers as well as things. In the first stage, whoever has the most tokens in a region scores the glory shown in the first token. So it's kind of area control.
Yeah.
After the second age, players with the most and second most tokens score glory equal to the value shown on the first and second tokens, respectively. And players score similarly after the third age. Then whoever has the most glory wins. All right. Now, when games with only 2 and 3 players last only 2 ages, which is a little bit different. So, Ethnos. I really liked this game.
Me too.
And I do love area control.
Yep.
So going into it, I knew that. And I didn't like it just as a one-off. I was surprised at how much variability there is with all of those different tribes.
Oh, absolutely. There is a lot. Yes.
That's the biggest thing. I mean,
Yeah.
the tribes are like, let's see, you have centaurs, dwarves, elves, giants, halflings, merfolk, minotaurs, orcs, skeletons, trolls, wingfolk, wizards. So anyway, I played it the first time and I really liked the game.
Yeah.
I went back and they were playing it a second time and there were different tribes in there that totally changed the gameplay.
Oh, I could see that. Every time you're playing it, you can play just something different. Yeah.
Yeah, like halflings, I like how interesting that is because halflings, you just start getting as many halflings as you can.
Yeah.
They don't do much, but if you just start really cranking through those, you're going to...
Yeah.
So you have to change on not only what tribes are in there,
Yeah.
but what combination of tribes are there.
Yeah.
And there are so many... And many games say that there are different paths of victory. But generally, in the majority of games, there are, but there's usually 1 or 2 that stand above the rest.
Yeah.
They just are. Normally, you will win if you do these certain things. Now, people will say, well, not always. Well, of course, not always. No rule is absolute. But generally, there are certain ways that you can get to the top. But with Ethnos, the way all these combine, it is really unlimited on those paths to victory.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can just ignore the area control for a moment and try different avenues in
Try
this.
your set collecting instead. Yeah, absolutely. And I liked too the aspect too where if you had too many of your tokens on an area, like if you had like 4 tokens in your area, to get another token you had to get 5. You couldn't,
Right.
I liked that aspect of it as well too.
And we played the merfolk were the ones with the other,
Yes, their own scoreboard.
Their own
Yeah,
scoreboard.
that was good. I liked that too.
which is very interesting because I ignored that and I focused
Yeah.
on the halflings. It is a really, really fun game. Again,
I enjoyed it way more than I thought. First of all, it's by Command, which I keep thinking Command minis. This is a Command game that doesn't have minis, so
Right.
yay, go Command. But no, it was really fun. It just had lots of different strategies to it, and you could pivot kind of mid-game and still not feel like you're behind. Because I saw your halfling strategy, I was like, that's actually not a bad idea. So
that
yeah.
is a good point. Certain games like Western Legends, for example, comes to mind. You can't pivot.
No.
You can, but you are going to be so far behind going
Yes.
up the other track.
Yeah.
Because there are 2 tracks in Western Legends.
Yeah,
You can go
yeah.
great, go good, or go bad.
Yeah.
But this one, you're right. You can pivot, and you can kind of do more of a point salad in your
Correct,
scoring.
yes.
And scoring's interesting, too,
Yeah.
at the end, because there's so many ways to score as you go through. Somebody might have low scores and everything. You're like, oh, they're not going to do great. And then they just crush it in one. And you're like, I did not even see that you were going that route.
Yeah.
Or someone could just be the jack of all trades and just try to get medium in everything and come out on top.
Yeah.
So strategy-wise, there's a lot going on in Ethnos,
Oh, absolutely. There's a lot happening.
and it's easy to learn.
Oh, yes. Correct.
Yeah, I mean, I think the weight is around a 2. What does it say? Yeah, 2.04. So very, very light game, and about 45 to 60 minutes. So anyway, this right here, highly recommended again, and it holds up. After 5 years of being out, this one still holds up.
Oh, yeah, totally.
With the big boys.
Yes.
So, yeah. All right, Ethnos, highly recommended from us.
Oh, yeah.
So, all
Great
right.
game.
There we go. Now we're going to go to our list, and we like to mix and match our list, as you guys know. We
To
don't,
other lists.
Yes. We don't just do ours.
No.
We find lists online, and then we try to see if we agree with them.
Yeah.
And then we'll add some at the end.
Yeah.
So this one we've got from Screen Rant. This is the top 10 most beautiful board games. You like how I said that?
I like how you said beautiful.
The top 10 most beautiful board games. Yes. So
Are you starting at 10 going down?
I am.
Okay, good.
They always reverse it, don't
Oh,
they?
it drives me crazy.
I do. Yeah, I know. I don't.
Yeah, yeah.
Not like that. All right. So we've also. I have not looked at this list. Have you?
I looked at it just to see what games they had so I could add some extra ones
Yeah,
on
I
it.
did not do that because I'm seeing some of these are actually on my list.
Yeah.
That I was going to say that I was going to add to it.
I was trying to think of different games to add that I would think are beautiful, and obviously the one I had was on the list, so I took it off.
Yep. All right. I
Yeah.
see several of them. Okay. So
Okay.
all right. Number 10, Photosynthesis.
Yep.
This
is
is.
a beautiful game.
I agree. This is
Yeah.
actually on my list to add if they did not have it
Yeah,
on there.
yeah.
It looks. The game itself, it's fine.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't love it. I
Yeah.
mean, I think we played it several times. I enjoyed it. We never bought it.
No.
But the way it looks on the table with those trees and everything, it just
is stunning. Yeah.
it is, and
yeah.
it just and the way it works, it reminds me of. I'll tell you the other one that I think about with this is Shadows in the Forest.
Okay, I didn't think I played that one.
Yeah, but that right there is
Okay.
kind of like photosynthesis, except you actually use a flashlight to shine it around, and you can
Yes.
see where the shadows are cast.
That's
in
right.
the
You played that
trees.
with Juliet, haven't you?
Yes,
Okay.
it's a kid's game, more
Yeah,
of a family
okay.
game, but it gives me that look.
Okay.
But photosynthesis is number 10, and I totally agree with that.
I would agree too.
And the miniature tree pieces are great, and that's one that it's
And
very
I'm trying
highly
to think, those are always set up right, the trees? Or do you have to
ranked.
set them
You're
up?
thinking Everdell, aren't you? Yes, I think they fit into the box.
Okay,
setup.
yeah,
I don't
I think so.
remember. We never really owned it.
No,
So
I
I
think
set
they
up.
do.
So okay, yeah, 10 photosynthesis. I do agree with that. Mm-hmm. All right,
Number 9 is Modern Art. I have never played it. Have you played it?
I have not.
No.
I have heard it looks very nice.
Yeah.
And modern art. Yeah, a lot of those art games.
Except the pictures that they have here in the article, I'm like, yeah, it just looks like modern art. Like, I don't know. I think photosynthesis looks better than modern art.
Yeah, but again, it's
Yeah.
beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Because,
Correct.
And I'm looking at everything. It is honestly, it's one of those things. If you like modern art, you're going to like it.
Oh, yeah.
If you are one that walks through a museum and you're like, I have no idea what I'm looking at, then it's probably not going to be
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, modern art.
Okay.
It looks good. I haven't played it.
Yep. Looks good.
All right. The next one is Parks,
Yes.
which again is one that we need to play again.
That is a beautiful game. And when we were playing that, we were all like, oh, it's so pretty. So, yeah.
You weren't crazy about the gameplay,
No.
but you love the way it looks.
I did.
And
yeah.
I think one thing that lets Parks stand out is the fact that it's all kind of based on places you could have gone.
Correct.
And when it has that kind of, it has that kind of, you get the feelings of remembering certain places. I think that right now, Keymaster, I think does great artwork.
I was gonna say,
Generally.
and I feel like also something I read about them that the postcards or something were actually inspired by like real pictures or something, or like there's some sort of connection to. I know they're based on real places,
Right.
but like the actual artwork is based on some other type of real artwork.
Yeah, well, it's like Space Park. It's also theirs, and all of their artwork is based on, for all the planets, is based on things the Hubble has seen.
Yeah. Yes.
No, I'm lying. That's not true at all. But there are artwork on.
Can I say
Space
that
Park is great.
one of my honorable mentions was Space Park.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
just a little
Yeah.
rocket on that.
Yeah, I
It
think
so
that
good.
is a great.
And that's Keymaster.
Yeah, that's Keymaster. So they had Park, and I was like, I would put Space Park up there too.
I would agree with
I
that.
personally prefer Space Park over Parks, so yeah,
Yeah.
I would bump that ahead.
All right.
It was me. Yeah.
Number 7.
Yes.
Number 7 is What Next?
Yeah, I have never heard of this before.
I have never heard of it too.
It's a choose your own adventure style game. Great pick for parties and family gatherings.
I'm looking through it on
Can even be played solo.
BG. Wow, Choose Your Own Adventure solo.
Yeah.
That's all right. It looks really nice. The cover looks nice. The game itself, I'm looking at it. I don't see it. I don't know. I'm looking through. I don't know if I agree. The cover is beautiful, but if this was most beautiful covers, it might be up there. but I don't see it.
I'm looking on Amazon, and looks like you build stuff as you play the game.
It is Big Potato, by the way.
No way, I did not know that.
So you do like
Hey,
your Big
I
Potato.
do love Big Potato.
Now I'm hungry.
Yeah. What year did it come out in?
It came out 2021, so it's fairly new.
Fairly new. Wow. I don't know
It's
how.
weird.
Yeah.
How we missed that one?
Yeah.
We're usually all about Big Potato, but we
I
missed
like
that
Big
one.
Potato.
All right, number 6
Okay.
is
Hang on. I'm still on Amazon. Now I'm not. Is Takedo.
Takedo.
I love this game. And yeah, this is a beautiful game. I would agree completely. I probably would have had it higher up the list, to tell you the truth. I would have had it at number 6.
Again, this is the second one that was on my list if they didn't add.
Okay. Yep. No, this.
And it hurts.
Yeah, this is a beautiful game. I completely agree. I love this game.
I do too.
Yeah.
You know what? It's just not the artwork in this. It's the feeling you
I was gonna
get
say,
when you
it's
play the game.
The mood, because you put on the music. This is a fully immersive game, and it's fantastic.
yeah, I agree. And that's...
Yeah, I agree.
I totally agree that Takedo's
Yeah.
on there. And again, it was on my list if it wasn't going to be on theirs.
Yeah.
All right, so number 5...
I don't know how to say this. So,
this is a rough one.
There you go. You go for this.
Hitch Nafal Viking chess set. I'm looking at it.
It's a chess. Oh, it's a chess set.
It's very abstract.
It is very abstract.
I can see how, wow, this would be very confusing on knowing what is what.
If you don't know how to play chess, I probably wouldn't recommend getting this chess set, because you would not know what you're doing.
Oh, it says the way you pronounce it is Ne Fatal. Ne Fatal. So
Ne
the H
Fatal.
is silent.
Okay.
Ne Fatal. Kind of like I had a friend who, his name is Peter. He's like, my name is Peter with a P as in pterodactyl.
I love that.
Which I thought was great. Anyway,
Yeah.
Which, you know what, chess sets,
Yeah.
I think chess sets should be on there. We've got a chess set that we got in
Maya, Mexico.
Mexico, Cozumel,
Mayan.
and it's all the Mayan versus, I think it was the Spaniards or something. But anyway,
It's really good.
It's hand carved.
Yeah.
Chess sets can be gorgeous.
Yeah.
So I think number 5 here should just be chess sets,
Yeah.
because chess sets can be just you've all seen some just ridiculously gorgeous chess sets.
Yeah.
And again, going to the 3D chess ones too, which is good. So, all right. So that is, I will just say chess sets is their number 5.
Number 5. All right. Then number 4 is Sagrada. We were talking about this earlier. I have
Yep.
not played it. I have heard it looks amazing.
I have seen
Yeah.
it, and it does look really nice.
Yeah.
All right. Again, that's another one that you knew was going to make the list. One I would put on there too. Well, anyway, I'll mention that one later.
Okay.
But yeah. All right. So Sagrada.
Sagrada. Okay. Then number 3 is, do you want the Princess Bride Adventure Book game?
These, I was going to say the same thing, like the Wizard of Oz or the Princess
Yeah.
Bride. And the beauty in these come with the simplicity of what it is.
Oh yeah, I love how the board game is the book. It's genius.
it's
I love
really
this.
nice.
Yeah, they did a great job. These are great. They look great. The artwork looks great. Yeah.
It's one of those weird things that, this beauty, even from this list, you're seeing that it's different compared to what people think is gorgeous. Some people just think mechanics themselves are beautiful.
Yeah.
Simplicity is beautiful. Like I had a friend who's big into tech, and when the first quad-core processor came out, he was looking at it and he's like, it's just so beautiful. I'm like, looks the exact same as every other processor.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's this game. It's great. This one and the Wizard of Oz, all those book games, it's just...
They're really good.
They're really nice.
Yep.
I'll agree with that.
Yep.
All right, number 2 is Azul.
Yep.
And
This would have to be on the list.
It does. And
It's
just
the rules.
the way you feel Azul and everything, I agree with that.
Yep.
So Azul is number 2.
Guess what number 1 is?
Yeah, you guys probably all know what
Yeah.
number 1 is. Number 1.
I feel like they made this list based on number 1.
I do.
Yeah.
So if it's any surprise to anyone, number 1 is Wingspan.
What?
Yeah, Wingspan, it is beautiful. Obviously the artwork is gorgeous.
Yeah.
And if you play with someone that has it tricked out with the special eggs
Oh,
and
yeah.
nest and all that, it
Yeah.
just gets even more
Better.
beautiful.
Yeah.
It just takes over the table.
Yeah.
It just looks like it's a beautiful, beautiful game. So I will definitely, I would put Wingspan as my number 1.
I would put Wingspan as my number 1, and I would have put Takedo as my number 2.
Really? You would have put Takedo that
Oh,
high?
absolutely. I think they had it as 6, right? I'm like, that's way too low.
And it's more the feeling that you get
Yeah,
from it.
yeah.
Wow. Okay, so let's list some other ones that were not on your list.
Okay, some honorable mentions for me is Detective Club.
That was on mine too.
Yeah.
I had Detective Club, slash, Mysterium or anything like that. Just that type. It's funny. I think that would take the place of modern art for me.
Yeah.
Modern art was fine. It was whatever. But it's funny how Detective Club, I say I don't like abstract games, but though that artwork is so abstract.
Oh, absolutely. I bet I love it. Every time we play this game with someone who's never played before, they're like, oh, I love the artwork. Oh. Everyone loves the artwork. And I see different cards that I've never seen before every time I play it. It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, Detective Club is fantastic as far as that goes.
Yeah.
All right, so that and Mysterium. All right, another one that I've got is, Everdell.
Yeah, I had Everdell too.
Everdell, again, I wasn't crazy about the game.
You can't beat the tree.
I want to play it again.
So pretty.
But
yeah,
the tree, it just adds, and I guess beauty sometimes, in my opinion, beauty also gets mixed with table presence.
Yeah.
If it has a great table presence,
I was going to say, so
beautiful.
Some of the things later on my list, I think also go back to table presence too. Like, how does it look on the table?
Yep.
That I'm going on that too. Yeah.
Right. All right, what's another one on yours?
So I had Space Park. I mentioned that earlier. Yep. I also have Luna Capital.
Luna Capital, I can see that.
Yeah, I just think that just looks beautiful. Has a great table presence. Looks good. I know it's mostly a grayscale because it's set on the moon, so it's not like colorful and everything. But I still think it looks really good.
I agree with that. So you're going on table presence and artwork on that too.
Yeah.
Okay. See, yeah. I guess if table presence, I'd go with something like Foundations of Rome.
Yes.
But all right, I can see that. Now another one on mine, I would go Nemesis, or I'd cover that with anything painted.
Yes.
Like I'm talking Zombicide, Arcadia Quest, Madara, any of those that are painted. If you've got on a table anything I think fits into this, that when someone walks by a table and they say, wow.
Yeah.
I know people that don't like Nemesis because it is kind of unforgiving. But I also know that you can walk through and you will have these people walk by a table and say, wow, that looks good. Even if you don't like the game, you think it just looks good. And that's what Nemesis or anything painted does. Once you paint something, even if you have the walls up, things like that.
Oh, I love fully painted games to the point where sometimes we haven't played games because it hasn't been fully painted.
Right.
Like Marvel United, when that's a fully painted, you've got all your fully painted minis on that game. Oh, amazing. Gorgeous.
Which, like, Oathsworn just came in, and Oathsworn, we were a late backer. I wasn't going to back it, and a buddy of mine, Jacob, convinced me to back it with the all-in at Gen Con. But the whole thing is, now that it came in, he's like, we can't play this unpainted.
No.
So he's going to take them, pause his painting, and paint this entire thing just so we can play it. Because it is so much more immersive to play with characters that are painted rather than just the gray minis.
Absolutely.
So I would add that on there, too.
Yep. I also had Imhotep, too.
I can see that. I think your Egyptian thing. Now, instead of that, I would probably put Cleopatra.
Oh, I would put Cleopatra up there, too. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I liked how you mentioned before Foundations Rome. That is a beautiful game.
Yep.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah.
Right, I can do that. And then another one is Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea. I guess that should be with Nemesis, but honestly, that just, again, table presence. When you play, I saw them playing, I think it was 8 players. They played a full complement, more than I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And they had the sky country and all that, and it was just a big table.
When you have all those layers there, that's an incredible
Everybody
looking
standing
game.
up, and it was just a battle. I'm like, that is, whew.
Yeah.
That looks good.
That's a good game.
That's a good, and they were all painted. It looked good.
You have Acropolis over there too. That has that layers too. We just got that at Gen Con.
Yes,
that's
much smaller.
That's a much smaller game, but yeah.
Okay, so I've only got one more. So which one? Which one?
That is it. That's all I've got.
All right, and the last one, and this speaks at how beautiful this game is. I have not played it. I have backed it. I've had opportunities to play it, but I have not because I wanted to wait. And that is Last Light by Roy Cannaday.
Yep.
And
that does look great, doesn't it? Yeah.
There is something about the way that game looks.
Yes, completely.
It has this. It looks modern, yet it looks ageless. Yeah. It looks like those, I guess, the wind chimes that you used to always see in like science classes. That I don't think anyone ever had in a science class, but every science class on TV has it, where the planets orbit each other. And the way that looks, the
You never had that in your science classroom?
You had one?
No, I was going to say, no. I always thought that was an American thing.
No, it's an American movie thing.
Okay, all right, that makes sense.
For you to know the ones that kind of, the planets spin around and all. I've never seen one of those in real life.
No.
They're always in science classes and nurseries.
Correct.
In TV
Yes.
shows.
Oh, yeah.
But I've never seen
Or
one
in a
in real
little
life.
boy's room in a TV show.
In a boy's
too.
room, yes. Yeah. So it's crazy.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen one of those. Anyway, but that Last Light by Roy Kennedy, it looks, and I think it's Gray Fox is who published it.
I think so.
But it
Yeah.
looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
So again, beauty is something that can overcome some flaws in a game.
Yeah.
I think the game still at its core has to be a good game.
I completely agree.
We've
I still
talked
got to
about
enjoy that.
that before. Other people can really forgive a bad game as long as it's pretty.
Yeah.
We can't.
No.
Because we have to enjoy the game.
I do.
But if you enjoy the game, it doesn't look good.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. I mean, I'm looking at you. What is the game with the food chain magnet?
Yeah.
I can't get past the artwork on that just being where it is.
Yeah.
And the length of it, of course. But anyway, all right. So if
Minor
there's
detail.
any beautiful games that you guys know of that we have missed, please let us know. You can email us at show@mainlygames.com. You can see our entire link tree at mainlygames.com, which includes our Instagram and Facebook, things like that. But all right, hey, thank you guys so much. And
We'll see you next week.
yes, so Wednesday next week, we will get back on a regular
see
schedule.
you then.
Because Lee County is starting to open back up. So we are here for you. We are playing games.
We no longer have a curfew or boil water notice.
What?
I know. What is happening?
It's like we're back to normal.
I know.
Almost.
Almost.
So,
We're almost there.
all right. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.